What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And this is my weekly gaming news wrap-up in which we just talk about news about video games. So let's get right into the games. So the Battlefield 5 beta is over. It was our first glimpse at this game, which has been fairly controversial. A lot of fans are expecting the worst, and it looks like, based on the beta, a lot of fans got the worst. Even like huge fans like Angry Joe, who really believed in this game, really backed this game, got to play early concepts of this game. After the beta, even he's pretty frustrated with this game at this point.
Oh.
White man.
Oh my god, I'm looking at chat.
What?
Now, the clip you just watched was Angry Joe testing these insane chat filters that got put into place during the Battlefield beta. If you entered the phrase white man, it got muted. Now, you could say black man, Asian man, any other type of man in the world, but if you said white man, the so-called algorithm muted it. Now, all the other usual suspected filtered words were there. Some really just stuck out as weird. For example, Titanfall, which is a competing game, the phrase DLC was muted unless you put the word free in front of DLC. If you said free DLC, that would go through, but any other type of DLC, paid DLC, DLC, in any iteration, that would get muted. I personally think the funniest one is the fact that they muted the phrase Nazi in the game, in the chat filters, considering it's a game about shooting and killing Nazis, as well as playing as a Nazi from time to time. It's a World War II game. So yeah. And all of this just kind of fed into the controversy that this game was being designed by SJWs and people who are very, very progressive. So progressive that they're willing to spoil their own video game in the name of progress. And it really does seem like that may be what happened here. But as a video game player who doesn't really care about politics very much, here's what I will say. The actual gameplay itself, the actual firefights, were very, very decent. It pretty much played like a Battlefield game, a very chaotic Battlefield game, though I think Battlefield 1 was considerably better. And when it comes to like the polish of the game, it doesn't look like it's very polished. For example, one of the progression perks that you can get for one of your weapons is called fast bullets, because I don't know why they wouldn't call them high velocity rounds. High velocity rounds exist. What is a fast bullet? I don't know what? You've used high velocity rounds in the game before. And rather than using like attachments to level up your guns, instead you're going through this weird perk tree for your gun. It's really bizarre. A lot of people noted the whole cosmetic progression system as well. Some of the cosmetics that you could even get in the beta seemed very weird. And we talked about that during the whole Battlefront 2 thing, that nobody wants a pink Darth Vader, and that's true. And this game is just filled with pink Darth Vaders when it comes to the cosmetics, including prosthetics and other just weird stuff you would not have expected to see on the battlefield during, World War II. So EA has promised that they're going to patch some of that stuff out and it won't be in the final version of the game. They won't get too weird with it. They were kind of going Fortnite with it there. Only game one game should do that, and that's Fortnite. And then it does look like, based on the beta, a lot of people who played this beta extensively and know the series a lot, they say that it seems very light on content when it comes to the number of guns that you can unlock, the number of maps, the number of game modes, and stuff like that. And of course, it is a beta. That stuff can change by November. But we'll just have to wait and see. But based on the beta impressions, this game seems to have very weird cosmetics, a very weird political agenda, and light on content. Might be a pass. Now, this week's video is sponsored by the folks over at Verve, who, by the way, just added your entire childhood to their service. Now, you guys know that Verve already has some of your favorite shows like My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, One Piece, and a heck of a lot more, but they just added a bunch of amazing Nickelodeon shows to their lineup as well. If you want to be watching some old school cartoons, you can be watching Doug, Thornberrys, Cat Dog, All Real Monsters. You can be watching my personal favorite, which is Rocko's Modern Life. What about Keenan and Kel? What about Clarissa Explains It All? Double Dare, Legend of the Hidden Temple. It's all there as part of the Nick Splat channel, which is part of the Verve service. But along with Nick Splat, you also get Rooster Teeth. You get The Nerdist. You get Crunchyroll and Funimation and Cartoon Hangover and a bunch of other stuff all in one place right there at Verve. But the best news is, if you go to verve.co/BOOGIE, download the app for free, you can sign up for a 30-day ad-free trial of Premium. And if you do that, you can start watching some great shows, and you'll be supporting me at the same time. So do me a favor, go check it out, will you? Now, one of the games I've been most critical of this season would be the new Call of Duty. And I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of the franchise. I tend to do the single player stuff and not much else in it. Dabble with zombies a little bit and never play the multiplayer. But I did take the time this week to play the open Blackout beta. And I gotta say, wow, I was really impressed. Now, in order to play this beta, you had to pre-order the game, which is definitely not something I'm all about. So fortunately, one of my friends did pre-order the game, and I got to sit down and watch him play it for a while. I played it myself. I watched a few other people play it. And I have to say, as far as Battle Royales go, yes, it's just another Battle Royale, but this is probably one of the better ones I played. It was smart and funny and different and just kind of interesting. Good job. I'm surprised, Activision. I have to say that if this was a standalone free-to-play game, or maybe for like $20 with like no microtransactions in it for the $20, this would have been incredible. This would have been an absolutely amazing thing. I think it might have very well competed with Fortnite. It might have killed Fortnite. Now it is a $60 game with premium editions and microtransactions built right in from the get-go. So I'm still going to be critical of that. But as far as gameplay goes, I really think it's worth checking out. I hope it goes free to play. That would be really smart. But that's just my opinion. And of course, I always want to hear your opinion. So if you took the time to watch somebody play the Blackout beta, if you played the Blackout beta, let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, this is not exactly my forte. This isn't my bailiwick. I'm not really good at these console shooters that are particularly popular. I like to dabble with them. I like to play the single player. I don't know. I might even buy this one if the reviews are good. We'll see. And now let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, loot boxes, because things just got heated up. It is now a worldwide battle versus EA. Good luck, world. Now, we've talked about this in a previous episode, but to get you caught up, the folks over in Belgium decided to make loot boxes in video games illegal because they determined them to be gambling, and they don't want gambling in their video games, especially because kids are playing them. And I think they were right about that. I think that's a very smart and good decision. We've seen a lot of different companies react in a wide variety of ways to this news. But one of my favorite responses was from 2K Games, who actually put out this statement in Belgium asking Belgian citizens to appeal to their government to get loot boxes put back into their video games. I can only imagine the crickets on this one. Who contacted their representative to ask them to add gambling back to video games? When, how, what, 2K, what? And most other companies like 2K did pull that stuff out of their video games, Activision most notably with Overwatch. But one brave company decided to stand up for robbing the consumer for every dime they're worth and defy Belgium law. And that's the folks over at EA. They decided to escalate. And as we know from the Batman movies, escalation is never good. Long story short, the folks over at EA decided they were making far too much money from loot boxes in their FIFA series in Europe, so they decided to not take them out of the Belgian version because they're making too much money in Belgium. So now they're under investigation by the Belgian government. In response to EA deciding to defy the law, the folks in Europe, 15 different countries in Europe, have decided to band together to fight microtransactions and loot boxes in video games. So, oops, EA, that was pretty bad decision. So that's the point we're at in the gaming industry now. EA is willing to fight in court for the ability to continue to earn money from their FIFA series in terms of microtransactions. They must be making so much money they would rather have a expensive legal battle than to give that up. So FIFA players buy a lot of microtransactions. That's what we learned from this. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's gaming news video. I think this is going to wrap it up. Whether or not you're playing Call of Duty, or whether or not you're going to play Battlefield, or whether or not you're going to play any of the other games I talk about, I want to say thank you for coming in and enjoying this episode. While you're down there, leaving a comment, dropping a like on this video, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And do me a favor, there's a sponsor link to Verve. Go sign up for Verve right now. Do it for free. You'll be supporting me in the process, and you get to watch some really great shows. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you again soon.